Hello, we're here in Grafton, West Virginia to talk about the Grafton Model Railroad Society, so stay tuned. Okay, so here in Grafton, the Grafton Model Railroad Society is the group that I belong to, but I wanted to show you the reason behind what I'm doing. I mean, my first video kind of went into it to some degree, but there's a little more to it than that, so I'm just doing another kind of an update on the Grafton Model Railroad Society and letting you know what's going on. So as I said, welcome back to Stu Structures. I apologize that it's been a little while since I put a video up. Life just kind of gets in the way, and many things have happened during the last month or so.
The first video shot here is out the back window of our room where we actually have been using for our model railroading. We're having to leave this building, but this was an awesome site to look at it for inspiration when we were working. The Grafton's small fraction of a yard of what it was during the time we are modeling. The few remnants of the yard that are still here, and you can see in this video and the shots I'll show in a minute, are the tower and the 115-foot turntable. But this is a great view of the modern diesel facilities, and we get to watch a lot of good trains go through here. Trains from the west at Parkersburg end up here, as well as the northern traffic that comes down from Wheeling, which comes from all parts of the northwest of the United States. And also all the coal traffic from the southern coal fields in West Virginia come up into here into CSX. A lot of unusual motive power comes through here. The rail to the east is some of the most challenging in the country. So a lot of new motor power is sent here for trials, and due to that we get to see a lot of diesels way before the home roads that they end up on. It's unusual. A lot of times some of the stuff that you do see come in here. The slash shot is a shot of the 115-foot turntable that I had mentioned. It's one of the few really nice large turntables left in the country. I'm surprised they haven't taken it out yet, but it's nice to still see that here, and it's still being in use. Inside our actual model room, we do several things. We have people that like to model in all gauges. Here's a shot of the overall 027 gauge Lionel that's set up. Brings back a lot of memories for a lot of people. This is the N gauge. It's been taken apart at this point in time because we're having to move out of this room, but it had a lot of buildings and scenery and stuff on it, and it's just slightly downgraded, but gives you an idea of what it was. This is an overall look of the tables. We had just really got a good start on starting to put stuff together, and we kind of just had a lot of stuff thrown on here as far as the buildings and stuff, just to have something on there to see when people came in till we got things going a little better. There would have been another peninsula off to the left-hand side of this one you saw. And that comes into the main yard. The main yard here we're going to model exactly as it was between 45 and 55 or so. You can see where it goes down and makes a continuous loop at the far end. It's a double track main line. We want to be able to do continuous running when the public's coming in, and also have the capability of doing a lot of switching and actual industries and stuff to service and do halfway decent prototypical running when we're not open to the public. At this far end you can see we have a helix down underneath. There'll be one at the far end too. We want to be able to stage trains because we can't do a lot of the railroad from the east and west because the yard and downtown that we're modeling kind of takes up the majority of the room. But we want to run a lot of different trains so we can do prototypical. Here's the side table, which will head out to the east yard. The east yard was huge, but it'll also go through this wall. You see the hole cut there. This is the underneath where we'll do our staging. This is what the helix goes down to. Right now it's just kind of piled with lumber, but there's a shelf the full length of the building so we can actually stage some nice sized trains. We actually had a nice sized shop area in the back as well. This was where the staging yard would come through the wall. It's not very well lit, but you can kind of see what we had started there. This was the beginning of the paint booth, which we're now taking apart. We never did quite get it finished. Would have been nice, but we'll have one in our new home whenever we figure out where that's going to be. So anyway, it's just going to take some time to get us into a new home. So we put everything on hold. All this stuff has been taken apart and put in storage for the time being, and that's where we stand at this point. So anyway, have decided to continue building these buildings, so when we do find a home, we'll have these to start out with. This is the Beanery, which was the original hotel. It was built before the Civil War. This is going to be the next structure that I do. For those of you who've been watching, I've been working on the tower. This is the freight station. It's still existing. It's a nice older building. The top was added to it, but it was there during our time period, so we'll go ahead and add the second floor to it when we build it. The building to the left of this, connected to the roundhouse, was the foundry. It was there, one of the first buildings in Grafton. Stone structure, real nice structure, but that'll be an interesting build to do. Then the powerhouse off this end of the foundry as well, another brick structure, which currently working on getting the parts for this as well, coal-fired. So it gives us the ability to bring in coal cars and switch this as an industry in town as well. And then the coaling tower, which I started building years ago, and you've seen that in my previous video. It's a 600-ton coaling tower, which was straddled several tracks in the downtown area there. And then the main hotel and station that was built just after the 1900 era. Very nice structure. This will be one of the last ones I do, as I said in my video earlier.
So there you have a little bit more of a background behind why I'm building these buildings. The Grafton Model Railroad Society, as I said, is kind of up in the air for a building right now. There were some structural issues with the building we were in, and it just isn't safe, so we're looking for another home. We have some possibilities, but it may take some time to work out. But we're going to continue to play with trains and build buildings. We can do a lot of things even though we don't have the building to be in right now, so when we do get in the building we'll be that much further ahead. So we're going to continue on working on all these buildings. The tower, I've got a little bit more to do on the exterior of it. I've started ordering the parts for the Beanery, or the original station as I showed earlier. So we'll get on that pretty soon and start building that as well. Once again, I apologize for not having a video up earlier. It's been about a month or so since my last one was up. Life, like I said earlier, just got in the way, and I apologize. I was wanting to get one of these out at least every 2 weeks. So I'm a little behind. Things are getting ready to slow down for the fall and winter, so that should pick up for me a little bit there and allow me more time to do this. So anyway, thanks for coming back and watching my channel. Hope you appreciated this. At least it's a little bit of an update, and we'll start getting back into the buildings. Like and share. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We do have a lot of good stuff coming up, and they'll be coming a little quicker than this one was. But anyway, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this. Happy model railroading.